everybody, and welcome back to the Mumkey and BIGS Show, your favorite podcast about two potentially homosexual lovers and their cats. I am your host, Mumkey Jehoshaphat, joined as always by...
Biggie Bigsin.
Biggie Bigsin, that's a new one. What's the origin of this nomenclature, Biggs? Please let us all know.
I'm big.
Wow. Such deep mythos. What are you? Are you a gangster rapper by chance with all these sophisticated name origins and shit?
No.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Listen, you know, Biggs, people start rumors and say things about me. Funny thing is, I didn't go to that party. Hot girls, we have problems too. We're just like you, except... You like that song, Biggs? Except we're hot, hot, hot. The world needs to open their eyes and realize we're not... Biggs is checking his phone. Oh, no, he just wanted to turn on the flashlight so he could wave it like he's at a prog rock concert in the 70s with a lighter. Great.
Yeah, it really speaks to me, you know? Like, I try to... sympathize with others, but they just don't have the same problems as me.
Hey, let's take a look at some of the comments from last week. Last week, of course, we found out whether or not Biggs is a sociopath, and I don't really remember what the result was, but we all sort of concluded you're probably a sociopath.
But it said no.
Right, but like, the test is probably faulty, folks. It was on a .net website, first of all. It was a
false negative?
First of all, anybody can fake a .net, okay? So I doubt the legitimacy of the test. I think we should just go with our gut instinct on this one and forget about... Because why would you take a quiz to learn something that is so obvious? Like, we're going to take a test about whether or not we're gay later in this episode. What's even the fucking point? It seems like a waste of time, because we already know the answer. It's so obvious to everybody, whether it's yes or no.
It'd be like me standing on a scale, even though I already know the weight of the situation.
It's going to max out at 300, and you're like, well, this is useless. Why do scales only go to 300? Is this the 90s? They underestimated human potential.
I guess I weigh 300 now.
There's an... I don't know who does this bit, but it's a great little anecdote about how our standards have changed. Where there's an episode of The Simpsons from like the early 90s about Homer being overweight. And Homer Simpson, a 40-year-old adult man, obviously he's a fat guy. He stands on the scale and it goes to 240, and he's like really upset about it because he's way too fat. And today he's like, 240 is probably the standard for a man of that. I mean, come on. Fuck, I know children who are 240. Biggs was 240 in middle school.
Not middle school.
8th grade is middle school. Like, geez, what happened in the last 20 years? Maybe New York was right to start a fucking soda ban or whatever the fuck that shit was, when they limit the size of soda you can buy. But if you're a New Yorker and you're like walking to work every day and shit, you're probably not as fat as a Midwesterner who's always driving around. If you gotta like commute to work on your feet, maybe they need the soda for the extra caloric energy, Biggs. You're a dietary scientist. Please enlighten us a little bit.
Salutations, dear viewers.
Anyway, comments about that episode. Loico says, Biggs Bigsington in Joker 2, A Tale of a Psychopath. And I was thinking, Biggs, remember during our Minecraft Let's Play where we were upset at the prospect of a Joker 2 coming out so soon, and we thought, hey, they shouldn't make that?
Yeah.
I was thinking, if somebody did make one, wouldn't perhaps a plot that isn't destructive or it goes against maybe the whole point of the first movie, maybe it would be about Biggs Bigsington, an everyday psychopath who watches the Joker movie. This takes place in our world. It's like a documentary, and it's this guy. He's in like his mid-20s, probably like 25. He's having a quarter-life crisis. His name's Biggs Bigsington. And then this movie Joker comes out, and it's sort of memed on, and everybody's like, oh yeah, it's a pretty shallow look at mental health, and oh yeah, he's really gonna go crazy and kill people, sure. But Biggs, he sees this movie, and it touches him on a level he never experienced from not just cinema, but any art form in history in his whole life. And he immediately says that the film is one of his top 5 films of all time, with no concept of recency bias whatsoever. And in this film, Joker 2, Bigger Joker, this character Biggs is inspired by the film, and he, after being cooped up in quarantine for so long, he finally snaps, and he paints his face and dresses up like the Joker, but bigger, obviously, hence, Bigger Joker. This character's let's just say he was around 240 in middle school, so you can only imagine.
So
you can only imagine. And
just like
anyway, the point is,
they call him Big J.
Okay, so it was meant to be.
Don't they call Joker Big J once?
I don't fucking know.
Bigger Joker.
They definitely don't in the
Big
Joker
J.
movie. They don't call him Big J.
Yeah, they do.
The point is, it's a documentary, and we film this character as he slowly slips into madness, and eventually probably kills his co-host.
Yeah,
that's the movie.
I was told that our friendship would probably end in a murder-suicide. So
should we make it like a docu-series and just film it Tiger King style? Just go for it and see what happens? Get Gokanaru to fly, instead of making his Hong Kong documentary, we'll fly him out to our house and film the Joker 2 documentary?
Yeah. Who's going to be our Joe Exotic? Is that supposed to be Biggs?
One of us is going to end up dead. That's all I know. How does Joker 2 end? Who gets what they fucking deserve in the sequel? The squeakquel, if you will. Will you? No. No, thanks. I will not.
Stop.
Could you imagine they're at the pitch meeting for Alvin and the Chipmunks 2, and they say it's a sequel or a squeakquel, if you will, and then the executive says, "I will not."
Why?
Could you imagine if that happened? Since you lack,
why are you going off in this tangent?
I'm trying to teach you about empathy. Could you empathize with the characters in that situation? Because you know how it feels to want to not.
What is this tangent even supposed to be? What do we start talking about? I'm so confused. This has been like a 15-minute tangent about nothing.
Oh, we have a scientist in the audience who wanted to let us know we fucked something up. Andre 18482, I guess that's his scientist badge that they gave him, his code number. He says, Biggs is the opposite of being dense. A dense object is one that weighs a lot but is small in size. Okay. First of all, Andre, nobody asked you to explain how I fucked up the joke.
It's like when Jimmy says, actually, you mean NaCl or whatever. He's like, no, man, I mean salt.
Who's...
Jimmy
Neutron. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Don't call me fucking Jimmy on this show. It's blasphemy. Blasphemy.
Oh, man. Just like, no, man, I just mean salt.
We have a health scientist, lots of scientists in the audience today. Mr. Breast, I assume named after because he studies mammary glands and such. He says any current event going on is Biggs' excuse to not be working out. Biggs, just because the gym's closed doesn't mean you have to give up on your diet and exercise. You can still do stuff.
No, I can't.
See? Mr. Breast fucking got you. Shito Codone says, Biggs and Mumkey, like you pretend they are lazy, but you actually edit your podcast and add edits when you say you will, and you almost always have the info you say you will in the description. So Biggs, I like that this comment is correctly pointing out that neither one of us are lazy, evidently, because the podcast is edited. So, Biggs, you want to talk a little bit about the podcast editing process that you know so well and definitely contribute to?
Yeah, so basically what we do is we take the beginning and the end and we just like trim it from when we start recording, and then like if we forget to hit stop at the end, and then we slap a thumbnail on and we upload it.
Yeah, that's exactly. You've clearly actually listened to our episodes to see what's going on.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like,
so
I'm the best editor. If you need any help editing, I will give classes.
yeah, really, you should be editing Turkey Tom's videos because he's really been slacking lately in the editing department.
Do I just need like a soundboard button of him saying I hate women to put in randomly?
Not women. Flip that W into an N, my friend. He hates something.
Nimmin?
He hates Nimmin. I can't blame him. I hate Nimmin too. Biggs is choking on his Pepsi.
Yeah, I just went down the wrong pipe.
Hey, I mentioned the Gokinaru video, and I wanted to get your quick analysis. My buddy Gokinaru is putting out a docuseries about when he went to hang out with the protesters in Hong Kong. This is obviously before all the corona shit really came into effect. But we watched episode 1, and I think it's going to be coming out once a week, so I figured maybe on this show we can review his review of Hong Kong. What'd you think, Biggs?
Well, I remember, like, there's a bunch of protesters, like, on the news, but then he showed up and there's none there. So is he really hanging out with the protesters?
Well, this is only episode 1, Biggs. This is called Welcome to Hong Kong. It's kind of just an intro to the series.
Was he patient zero?
He could have been. I mean, he was hanging out in fucking Hong Kong and then came back to America to the Midwest. How many fucking Midwesterners are usually hanging out in fucking Hong Kong? Uh-oh.
So we have him to blame.
Yeah. I mean, we could have gotten sick of Mall of America because of his... Well, I mean, what a dick. He wants to go help the people of China expose their dictator government. What a fucking selfish asshole. I can't believe he would do that.
I know, right?
Fucking hate that guy.
It's pretty low.
Yeah, even for me.
Well, I mean, you are short.
Oh, here's a good one. Eag Sinegev says, test. Are you manipulative? Biggs literally manipulates Mumkey into talking about something else starting from Patreon. Biggs?
Speaking of Patreon, I actually logged in again and they updated my monthly total so I can, like...
Is it higher or lower than it was before?
It's higher.
Oh, what are you at now?
We
got to start setting ridiculous goals on your Patreon. Like the $100 a month should be like, Biggs will do karaoke of the patron's choice song. You know, like funny shit like that people want to do.
Yeah.
What are you at now?
It was like 60-something.
Okay. Maybe...
Which is higher than the 50-something last time. I was like...
You know how you used to do those Donnie Darko watch-alongs on your Discord?
Yeah.
You should start doing a movie of the month club on your Patreon where everybody who's a patron, you guys can all watch Donnie together once a month. You know? You gotta be thinking of these things if you want to really make it big in the YouTube industry, Biggs.
Yeah, I should charge $5 to do, like, hello videos.
Sure.
Send them a short video of me saying hello.
If you were going to do like cameos, you should charge a premium of at least $20. For real. $5, don't sell yourself too short, Biggs. You deserve way more than fucking $5.
It's gonna take more than $5 to feed me.
True. That's, you know what? That's a valid point. Let's move on. Okay, Biggs. Our last episode came out 2 weeks ago, and ever since that day, this one comment has been just in the back of my mind, making me so angry because I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. And 4 people gave it a thumbs up, so I guess people somehow agreed with this. Maybe I am literally fucking crazy and I'm wrong, but I feel like what I'm about to read is just insane. Do you remember when we took the sociopath quiz? And we were taking it pretty fucking seriously, and you were like actually answering some of them, and for some answers, you gave the honest answers. Sometimes were maybe leaning towards sociopath, and sometimes they didn't at all, right?
Okay.
Like, we weren't doing a bit, were we? It was like we were actually taking the fucking test.
Yeah.
This guy, Alex Johnson, says, taking a sociopath test and going, wow, that sounds just like blank for every question is so tiresome.
Is that like a common video on YouTube?
No, I think he's saying that's what we did. And that blew my mind, that somebody could have listened to our conversation and that's their takeaway from it. Am I nuts? Did we do that even once as a joke? At all?
I don't think so.
I lived it, I edited it, and then I watched it again when it was up. I've lived through this 3 fucking times, Alex Johnson. What in the fuck are you talking about? Fucking absurd. In no way did we do that as a bit.
Okay, but think of it this way. Maybe he made a video and he's projecting onto us, and it's because he's mad his video didn't get as many views.
He thinks we're like copying his video ideas, and he's so jealous that they're getting, well, I guess, 3,000 more views than his. So he's like posting I mean, really, who posts something like that? I hope every comment now says just some stupid shit about how something is tiresome that didn't even fucking happen. Anyway, so what was that tangent that really made you upset? Let's go back to that tangent. What was going on?
What was the tangent?
Hey, you guys want to take a gay quiz? We asked the fans at home, hey, we're going to take a quiz to find out if we're gay. If you want to make a quiz for us, you can email them to heavysimian@gmail.com. And the first one that came in, and maybe the only one as far as I can see, is from Koya. Is that this guy's name? This quiz is very straightforward, Biggs.
Okay.
It's a quotev.com quiz. And I click on his link and it just takes me to their front page and not to their quiz. So I guess I'll search for it. I think they probably took his quiz down because he sent it 10 days ago, and when I click on it, it does not exist.
Click on it again.
It doesn't exist.
Uh-oh.
And I searched for it on the website, didn't exist there either.
Just type in gay.
Okay. Whatever quiz pops up under gay, we're going to take that quiz. Mate massacres? This is a weird website.
I think that's a book.
Okay, quizzes. What gender? Oh, I can search by quiz. Are me and my friend gay for each other? Which guy would you like most? Okay, we're gonna have to find somebody else's quiz. I'm sorry, Koya. They must have deleted your high quality work. Tragedy. Massacre at Sioux Falls, Biggs. Okay, we're at allthetest.com. Test is my friend gay, straight, or bisexual about me? So
in parentheses it says 4 boys.
Oh yeah, right. You wouldn't want your.
We need to find the one for men.
Well, hold on. This little quiz I created is meant to tell you if one of your friends is gay, straight, or bisexual. Wow. I don't know if that would really work. You'd probably want to just ask the person themselves and not take a quiz about somebody else without them really contributing. It seems like you might be just answering in ways that support the belief you came into the quiz with. And more importantly, if they like you like that or not. Very important to find out so you don't have a misunderstanding that ends up with you losing a treasured friend, Biggs. If this quiz,
where do you find one of those?
If this quiz does not have the results we're expecting, one of us might lose a treasured friend. And I'll just say this right now, I don't treasure you at all. I'm worried for you, Biggs. I don't want you to lose your treasured friend, me. What else do you have? If you don't have me, you can't hang out with Blaze anymore. There's no fucking way I'm letting that happen. Isabel, out the window. You can take her. He's shaking his head no, he just wants Blaze. Too bad. Okay, number 1. What do you think your friend is? Oh. Are we both going to answer, or is one of us going to take this quiz, Biggs?
Well, I mean, you were wanting to take the quiz for me, so I think you're going to have to answer these.
About you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Ooh,
What's
okay.
the rule? That I can't respond at all, or do I get?
That sounds like a very
rebuttal?
boring two-man podcast of one of us is forbidden from speaking, Biggs. I would really appreciate it if I didn't have to carry the entire segment on my back.
So I get to defend myself.
Defend? What are you, homophobic, Biggs? Are you straightophobic?
Homophobia is a dumb term because I'm not scared of gays.
I fucking am. If a gay guy came up to me, I'd be like, oh, first of all, Corona. Second of all, AIDS. Get the fuck away from me. Ain't that right, Biggs? I'm just kidding. I hang out with a gay guy all the time. I think my friend Biggs is gay.
Oh, no.
Biggs is probably straight. I think he's
Probably.
I mean, you can never know for sure, but I would assume so just based on I've only ever seen him dating women. Does he move closer to you while you're sleeping near each other at a sleepover? Okay, good question. Why are you erupting with giggles that you tried to suppress, Biggs? What's going on?
Do you remember when we stayed at Rod's house for his birthday?
When we were like 11 or 10?
12 or something.
Yeah.
And like he had a water bed and there was 3 of us staying on it. And I'm like at the other end.
So just to be clear, all 3 of us decided to sleep in the same bed together.
Yes.
Okay. Were there other places to sleep in the house?
Yes. I lay on the end of the bed and it lifts the other side and they slide down to me. And then our friend Rod takes off his shirt. And we're like, no, please. Put it back on. So the answer to this is probably yes.
Well, no. That's not how gravity works, my friend. The smaller objects move towards the big object. So you don't move closer to me because of your mass, your density, as we discussed earlier with the scientists in the comments. When you lay on the waterbed, we're actually the ones who moved closer to you.
Okay.
So, no, you've never actually moved closer to me during a sleepover. It's always gravity pulling me in.
Now, only if Dimes' little brother doesn't take this, then I might fail that one.
Wait, did you do something to our friend Dimes' little brother?
Do you not remember the first time I met him?
No.
It was a party for Dimes.
How old was his brother and how old were you at this time? Because I think that might be important depending on where you're going with this.
Well, I mean, was that sophomore year?
So probably like 16.
Yeah.
16,
Realize-
life is sweet when you're growing up so fast.
The first time I ever meet Dimes' little brother, we're sitting there and like everybody's getting ready for bed, and he like crawls up underneath this desk, and then me and Dimes crawled up in there too.
So he can't get out?
Yeah, he's stuck in there. He has no idea who I am. I'm just spooning him. And he's like, why? And Dimes is spooning me. And we didn't move. We ended up locking
Wow, you were a sandwich between the men of this family.
Yeah. And then I remember we locked Trevor in the dog cage.
For how long?
All night.
What?
He slept in there.
You locked him in a dog, like a carrier cage?
Yeah.
Oh.
He slept in there overnight.
Have you seen his Facebook lately?
No.
Oh my god, okay. So there's this, you explain who Trevor is while I pull up his Facebook. I gotta read these statuses.
Okay, the best way to explain Trevor. Wow. Imagine like the most outgoing person you possibly know, except you also hate this person.
Yeah.
You hate
So
their
like a
entire
Mr. Peanut
being.
Butter, kind of like you? Uh-oh. We really need face cam for these moments of genuine sadness that Biggs has. Okay. You don't want to be compared to Trevor, I guess? Sorry.
Yeah, he's just really loud and annoying, and he thought he was a good rapper, and he thought he was like a good actor and stuff. So he probably deserved it, right?
Deserved what? Getting locked in a dog cage?
Anything that's happened to him in life.
I'm trying to find...
Why are you just not searching his name?
I'm on his page. I can't find his fucking, his recent embarrassing tweets about positivity.
Why
and
would you
shit.
be looking for tweets on Facebook?
Oh, I mean his Facebook statuses. Whatever, I can't find it. Anyway, maybe I'm on the wrong account, but the point is he's been posting some cringy stuff on Facebook. Those people who really want to let all their friends and family know, oh, I love and care about all of you so much. Life is so beautiful and great. Like, oh man, you don't need to post that on Facebook. Nobody cares. There's no likes on it. It's embarrassing. Just stop.
Sad.
You know, I don't remember the last time I posted something on Facebook that wasn't just making fun of my friends and harassing them.
Really cruelly too. Like,
Yeah.
Our friend Cobb posted something about being somewhere where he is happy in life or something, and then you just reply like, "You're never gonna be happy in life. You're going nowhere." And like you post this on the same post that his family is posting, like, "Oh, we're so happy for you," and you're just this cruel, inhumane dick for no reason.
Yeah, but
nobody asked you to be this cruel.
But his family knows me, and that me
and they know that you're an evil prick.
No, no, because that's how Cobb not only talked to me while his family was around, but talked to his family too.
That's how
they know that that's our form of communication because they've been the victims of it for decades. It's not a secret to anybody that that's how we all talk to each other. Everyone knows, Biggs.
I got some stern talking tos during high school about who I chose as my friends because people would see you guys just harass each other. And
who gave you stern talkings to? Your family?
No, it was teachers and also friends.
What teachers were betraying my trust, trying to take my fucking jester away from me? Who was it? Name names. I'm gonna fuck their shit up.
The psychology.
The sociopath teacher? Yeah, I know you're in that fucking
the
class.
Psychology teacher. She's like, why are you friends with them? They're so mean to you.
I wasn't mean to you.
You were mean to me all the time.
Name one mean thing I did to you in high school. One. This'll help with the gay test.
Slept with the girl I liked.
I didn't sleep with anybody in high school.
Liar.
That's not a lie. That's true. You know that's true. I didn't have sex until college. Who the fuck in high school do you think I had sex with?
The transfer student.
What? No! We never had... No!
This is news to me.
What do you mean? Of course we didn't have sex.
The whole time I thought you did.
No! Buddy, no.
Not then at least.
I fucking wish. No, never. Never. I wish.
This homie is top simp. Spends all this money to go down to see her and wherever.
I wasn't going down to go on a date. I've never been to Argentina before, and it's like you get 2 weeks to go hang out with one of your best friends in a foreign country. That's cool. It would have been cool if she wanted to fuck, but I wasn't gonna ruin the trip by doing that shit. Come on. I'd been to enough restaurants. I knew how the deal was by then.
You've been permanently banned for, like, by yourself from so many restaurants. You're like, yeah, I'm not doing this again.
That waitress will recognize me not coming back in. Number 3 on the gay quiz. Does he show off his muscles and talents to you? Muscles, he does wear shorts often, and his calves, all of his leg muscles, are so ripped that on the day when he finally does start taking the gym seriously, he can skip leg day because his entire life has been a leg marathon nonstop. And if the rest of him gets as shredded as his legs, any bodybuilder will run away in fear. So I'm gonna have to say yes, he does show off his muscles to me. What do you have to say, Biggs?
I mean, that's fair.
I'm very proud of those leg muscles you got going on. Ah! Oh, I guess they can't see the quiz, so I forgot we're not doing a camera. But question 4: does he get an erection when he's near you? Seems like if this is happening, you probably don't need the quiz. Seems a little obvious, right?
Do you think somebody like has this weird sexual like situation with their friend, and then after the fact they're like, you know, he might be gay? Like, just imagine that scenario, and like he just pulls it out and they start going at it, and then he's like, you know what, are me and my friend gay? Like, buddy,
I
look
think
what you just did.
I think I had one like that one time. I don't know if I told you about this one. You remember our friend Bananas?
No. No.
Well, I mean, a classic gag when you're hanging out with, you know, a group of the guys.
No.
No, I mean, a classic gag that I've done many times, I think most of us have done many times because it's fucking funny, is that you'll just turn to one of the guys and go in like you want to make out with him, like as a joke, and then see how they react, and everybody starts laughing at them. And then, it's the less people in the group, I guess the funnier it becomes because it's more and more awkward with less witnesses. Because if there's no witnesses, then it might turn into a fucking gay kiss. You know what I'm saying? And one time, me and Bananas were hanging out, just me and him, playing like a GameCube Yu-Gi-Oh game where you're fucking going around the desert killing. It's not even Yu-Gi-Oh, it's some weird ass shit. And he turns to me and goes in to make out. I'm just like smiling and waiting for him to stop. Like, okay, I get the joke. There's nobody here, buddy. And then nothing happened. And then we just didn't talk for like 10 minutes. Just kept playing the game. What? Yeah, I know. I think he was joking, but I've always thought about that. Like, that was fucking a little weird.
That reminds me of something that happened with Cobb.
With you and Cobb?
Yeah.
What, did he try to kiss you too?
No, we do that anyway.
Yeah. You guys do the same make-out joke when you're alone?
Yeah.
So stupid.
But no,
That is the ultimate gay test. Because if you're doing it as a joke and your buddy starts kissing, he's like, oh fuck, oh shit.
But no,
this is the end.
Cobb's thing is when people are around, he'll try to play with my tits. And one time, we're at home alone, and he literally jumps on me, just grabbing my tits.
Oh no, Cobb, it's different when nobody's watching.
So naturally, every time he does that, the only way I get him to go away is to try and grab his dick. So he's on top of me, grabbing me. I grab him, and he just jumps off and runs upstairs. And then we just never talked about it again.
Okay, we're gonna call Cobb and ask him if he remembers this one.
Hello?
Hey, Cobb.
What?
Do you remember a time when you and Biggs were living alone together, and it was just the two of you, and you jumped on top of him to grab his tits, and then he grabbed your dick, and do you remember that?
Yeah, I fantasize about that every night.
Yeah, what happened? Because Biggs couldn't remember exactly the details, and we wanted to hear the story.
I think we were talking shit to each other and doing the jinx thing, and then I'm just like, fuck you, Biggs. I jump on him.
What's the jinx thing?
Where we would say the same thing and then just keep saying jinx back and forth to each other.
For like an hour, you'd keep saying jinx, jinx, jinx.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that it?
I think so. I don't know.
Like after he
Barely
grabbed your
remember
dick,
it.
why did you leave the room? Why didn't you let it keep going from there?
Because I had to change my panties.
Hang up on him. I'm done. Does he get an erection when he's near you? Not that I know of. I really don't think so. I'm sure I would be able to tell because it's got to be a massive rager. Does he talk about sex and similar things around you? Well, I mean, after
the last 20 minutes.
If you've heard this podcast, any of you could say yes on this one. Has he ever had you in a position where your privates are near his, almost like you were having sex? I guess if Cobb was taking this quiz, handful of titty, handful of dick, that's pretty sexual. But Cobb's not the one taking it, though. Never, that is a dumb question. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that one. Does he talk more about guys or girls around you? Uh-oh.
I only talk about Jake and Blaze.
Jake from State Farm?
Gyllenhaal.
What? Oh.
Donnie,
Yeah, okay.
you idiot.
Yeah, okay, but he does talk about waifus a lot. Legitimately, and you're gonna think our lives are just a big running meme, and you would be correct. Biggs and I did watch Donnie Darko together yesterday, and you were as vocal, if not more so, about some of the women in the film than the men.
Yeah.
But you still fantasized about Jake at the end of the day, and as always, the scene when Donnie Darko's in therapy and he's undoing his pants to grab his dick and jerk off. Biggs, he could not resist. He just did it again, live on air, putting his hand down his shorts to grab his own dick. So I'm going to go 50-50. The options are guys, girls, and 50-50. I think you talk about guys and girls about the same.
Okay.
Has he ever gotten an erection while wrestling with you? No. Nope.
Haven't we already been asked this question?
And we don't really fucking wrestle, so Please don't fucking... no. Does he ever show off his body, muscles, or underwear to you? No. I wish. Now that you have finished the test, what do you think he is? Biggs, what do you think after taking that test?
I mean, I feel pretty straight, confidently.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say straight, but as always, the test will decide your fate. So let's take a look. For 70% of you, ready for your result? Your friend is not gay or bisexual and doesn't like you like that. Oh.
Well, we already saw on Twitter that you have a different boyfriend, so...
Oh.
That's me and Cobb's thing, like...
This is so awkward and embarrassing. I thought the quiz was going to tell us we should be together, Biggs. But you don't even like me at all?
No. You're an awful human being.
I thought we were going to be together after this, Biggs. I thought this is the beginning of a beautiful love and marriage.
The beginning?
The beginning. Wow, another fucking pointless quiz with an obvious answer. It only took another 40 minutes.
Well, that was fun.
Hey, Biggs, I gotta tell you, I came up with an idea for a new show. Here at the Mumkey and Big Show, we love trying new things. We recorded in one session a whole pilot test season of Snack Testers. I edited them all on the same day and put them all up, and they came out a week apart. And I think it was pretty successful. Did you like doing Snack Testers, those first 4 episodes?
Yeah. I mean, they were decent snacks. Maybe they weren't the best, but...
In terms of, like, the videos, did you think, hey, that was fine to exist?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. So, of course, after the positive results of people enjoying it, and it's actually, they're getting pretty decent views compared to our podcasts even, we're probably going to film more of that later today if we stay true to any commitment we ever make.
Hey, if we at least film one, then that's good.
That would be a miracle. It would be a miracle if we filmed even one. But I'm thinking, Snack Testers, that's a fun idea. You get a weird snack from different places around the world or restaurants or whatever, and then you do the little comedy bits while eating it. Whatever. Simple premise. So that's what I want to do for the Mumkey and Big Show channel. Shows with a simple premise, and the execution is what makes it fun. So I was thinking, Biggs, of an audience interactive new show we can, throw in maybe once a month or so.
Jackbox Party Pack
No,
games
stupid.
With viewers?
No, that you can stream that anytime. I'm talking about a show, like an edited show with production quality. And this show that I came up with is called TV Testers. Let me give you this elevator pitch, Biggs. 2 guys watching the lowest rated episode of any given TV series. They get to watch us an edited highlight reel of our little reactions as we watch the episode, and then we'll give a proper discussion and review of the episode after we watch it. It's a fully edited video, thrown in clips from the show and all these funny memes and whatever the fuck, the typical shit you would expect from a video. But the idea is that the audience for each episode gets to vote for which show we do next. And this can be any show. And I was inspired by just shitty CBS sitcoms like God Friended Me. What if we watched the lowest rated IMDb episode of God Friended Me and reviewed it? I think that would be a pretty interesting video. Very painful for us. Biggs is cringing in disgust, but I think it could be pretty funny. We could do the worst episode of Big Bang Theory.
We're gonna watch every episode.
Yeah, we had to marathon the whole show. And I was thinking maybe even internet series, like the lowest rated episode of the Nostalgia Critic and so
again, we're gonna watch all of them.
No. So here's how it would work. In the comment section of this podcast right here, And then in the future, it'll be the comment.
So the cesspool.
Right, the cesspool. And then in the future, it would be the comment section, obviously, of the show itself. I want people to recommend what shows should be up for discussion. So just down there, if you know a show that it would be funny for us to watch and review its worst episode, let us know. And if you have a recommendation for the worst episode, we can go by that as well. And then Biggs and I will curate those comments and choose the ones that we think would be the most interesting or funny or painful and put them in a straw poll. Maybe in the next podcast episode, people will have this straw poll because then it'll be ready. And then whatever wins the most votes in the straw poll is the show we do. And then, episode 1, we do it. Then there's a new straw poll. Episode 2 is, so the audience is always choosing how they torture us.
Yeah. And I feel like I have such a low bar that I set when I watch TV shows that I might actually like some of these shows.
And you might want to start watching them.
It might be a good idea.
That's why it's called TV testers and not some we're going to suffer all the time. Maybe we'll find shows that we fucking like.
Yeah.
Maybe they want us to watch the worst episode of Breaking Bad, which is
no.
The lowest rated is the Fly episode, and we both...
What?
I think... Well, yeah, on IMDb, it's the lowest rated for sure. But I think we both really like that episode, so it would be an interesting episode, I think. Let me know, first of all, in the comments if you guys want to tune into TV testers and let us know what shows you want on the straw poll.
Oh man, then we're gonna have to do a sub series of it called Anime Testers. We have to watch the lowest rated anime.
Oh, what? We're gonna watch? I'm about to name Biggs' favorite anime. Fucking. I'm stuck in a video game and I want to fuck my sister, guys. Is that what that show's?
What?
Is that what
That's
that
not
show's
his
called?
sister.
I heard that there's incest in that show, and I'm just gonna live with it.
It's in the second season and it's his cousin, but
you've never wanted to fuck your cousin before, Biggs. So judgmental. It's very common in Japan to fuck your own cousin while playing a video game. You have to just get used to Japanese culture if you're going to consume their products.
I don't understand the hate of Sword Art, okay? It has filler, I get that. But so does a lot of anime.
Do you remember, for Chip's Challenge, we did that episode where we watched Nostalgia Critic review Donnie Darko?
Are you going to say we have to watch a Psy review of something?
No, I was going to say we should watch the 13-part Digibro series about why Sword Art Online sucks. You want to watch that for 6 hours?
I had the wrong guy. I knew it was one of them.
I'm sure Psy has piggybacked off of Digibro and made his own fucking not Attack on Titan, his own Sword Art Online videos. We could watch those too. I would much rather watch a Psy anime review than fucking Digibro. At least with Psy, I can enjoy something.
Is Digi the one that's the pedo guy with the anime, the lolly dude?
He's the guy who thinks that my views on the freedom of speech are fucking stupid.
So yeah, he's a pedophile.
Yeah, I mean, if he's dating an adult woman, so I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt on that one.
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
I could have swore there's something about him and the lolly shit.
Well, I mean, yeah, he likes the lolly shit.
Disgusting.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
I'm not a fan of it.
Married to a full-grown woman, if you look at that shit and you beat off to it, you deserve to be shot in the skull.
You definitely deserve to be made fun of online for admitting it. But
shot in the skull.
Well, you want to open up the pathetic list right now?
To the brain.
Give us your pathetic list entry for lolly lovers, because we got some of them in our comment section.
Yeah, lolly lovers, you're below. You're number 3. Or no, you're number 1. You're the new number 1.
Whoa, the new top of the heap. They beat us?
Yes.
Damn.
Lolly lovers, you deserve a bullet in the skull.
Well, give me some elaboration.
It's like that video we watched where you were watching that black dude running from the cops and
on Facebook Live.
They're making fun of his corpse while he's on Facebook. Yeah, it's like that. They deserve that.
Wow.
You deserve the police to make fun of your corpse while your family listens in horror
on Facebook
after
Live.
being shot in the skull.
Oh my god.
Okay, and then we're number 2, and then everyone else is number 3.
Do we deserve to be shot in the skull on Facebook Live?
Only number 1.
Wow.
It's a new low.
You can't think of anything worse than somebody who likes lolly porn. What about an actual child molester? Would that go higher?
They like lolly porn.
Not necessarily, dude.
Yeah.
There are plenty of people who have fucked children who have never seen anime.
Then they're getting lumped in the same fucking
So
bubble.
why don't you just say people who molest small children, rapists,
And those who watch lollipop. All of them are lumped in the same shit.
Yeah, wow. Okay,
All of them.
I'll allow it.
You have no choice.
I do not have a choice. I do not.
So there's my 5 cents on that.
Okay.
So what were we talking about?
TV Tester's new show.
Oh yeah, that's a good.
Gonna love
tangent
it.
to go
Gotta
off
have
with.
it. So should we listen to some voicemails then, Biggs?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Hey, Biggs, you remember that the retarded guy who keeps calling in?
Heartsy?
Yeah, I think this is from him.
Okay.
The guy with the funny voice, who I said sounds like he's a Crip, but he's just a normal
Who
guy.
you called the subhuman live on television?
So in his voicemail last time, he was flabbergasted that Mumkey Jones would call him a subhuman on a podcast, and he has grown to accept it. Did I specifically call him a subhuman? I called him a Crip. I think he added the subhuman part. I don't think crippled people are subhuman. I think they're better than us. So I don't know. He might have been projecting a little bit when he said that. If somebody can find, if there's audio of me calling him a subhuman, I will attest. You know, I stand corrected, but I think he might have came up with that on his own, Biggs. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm still gonna blame you.
Well, let's hear what he has to say.
Hello, Mumkey and Biggs. It is me, the crippled voice kid, also known as Heartsy Protsy.
Yeah.
And this is going to be out of character for me, unlike the previous 2 voicemails I sent in. I'm going to be talking from me to you. And as stupid and corny and gay as this might sound, I just really do appreciate you guys.
He's definitely gay.
Unironically, I appreciate you
You didn't
guys.
say no homo.
I look forward to every new upload on the Mumkey and Big Show channel. I look up the Mumkey's style in his the way he writes his videos, the way he delivers jokes. I look up to his style, not Mumkey himself. I look up to his content.
Better.
And you guys' content has helped me through some pretty rough times. And I remember the first day I was on the BIGS Discord
like
server,
a suicide.
I actually got to play Drawful in a VC with BIGS, and it was the highlight of my day, as stupid as that might sound. Thank you, guys.
Okay. The voicemail was a horrible mistake because it should have ended with like a gotcha. Like, and with all that being said, fuck you. You know.
That's what it says up here.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I guess he did type in the email with all that being said, fuck you. Essentially.
Yeah.
I guess the great minds do think alike. I didn't even read that.
Wow. Now you're saying he's a great mind.
Well,
That's a complete 180.
Well, I mean, his name is Heartsy, first of all. Would you give this boy any advice on what his next voicemail should be? Do we want more wholesome gay shit, or do we want him to be fucking funny?
We want some karaoke. So if you guys like to sing,
$100 on Biggs' Patreon to get Heartsy karaoke, people. Hello.
So if you guys like to sing it. Send in some karaoke.
Hey, you remember Big Jack, the Pokemon? He called in one time.
Yeah, he's the sea otter thing.
Yeah, he's calling in again.
Hey Mumkey, hey Biggs, it's Big Jack here from the Pokemon series. This tier, well, first thing, I'm going to give a shout out to my friend Finley, or Beans, because he was mine. I'm going to give a shout out to my friend Finley, or Beans, because he was mad I didn't give him a shout out last time.
Fuck you, Finley.
And can you tell him to hurry up and make Your Waifu Sucks? He was going to make that as a video, and it was going to be really funny, and he hasn't made it
Is
yet.
this guy fucking using our program to ask his friend to make a video?
Probably.
Is this really the ultimate middleman service for that message? You don't think you could have just emailed him about it?
Before I forget, shout out to...
Before I forget that, I was big before I was Biggs.
This is a shout out to Guard, a.k.a. Bat, in Discord. So quit bitching about me not shouting you out. I just did.
Stupid.
Yeah, he's just procrastinating, taking time. He was gonna like dissect waifus or something, tell them why they suck. I don't know. It's gonna be funny if he makes it.
Okay.
So tell him to make it. And I had something else to say, but I forgot. So
Oh
bye.
my god! Damn it! This is not what the voicemail is for. You guys are abusing our system. It's abuse. Who else wanted to say? Seven Eve said, "Play on the show." The story of why I don't beat my meat while laying on my back anymore. Do we really want to listen to this?
Yes, we absolutely do.
Okay.
So listen, the other day I was beating my fucking dick, and I was like, oh yeah, this is fucking amazing, and I fucking squirted up in the air, and like I was laying on my back on my bed, and it all fell down, like landed on my face and all over my chest, like it was on my nipples, the fucking pool of it on my
I hate it
belly
when that
button and
happens.
shit. And I was like, oh god, that was great. I just got to get a tissue to wipe it off. I look over on my desk beside my bed, and I don't have a tissue, so I'm like, oh shit, now I'm covered in cum, and I don't have a tissue, so I have to crab walk on all fours out of my room to the bathroom through my house. I'm crab walking out of my room. My mom sees me. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "Shut up, bitch! I just came all over myself." And I
Okay.
like start
I
crying.
think this story
and I
might
make
be
it to the
fake.
bathroom.
No, it's probably
crab
real.
walking, and I see the tissue up on the counter. I reach.
You can
up
use
for
one of
it.
your shirts
I
to clean
fucking
cum off.
slip. I flip over and splatter the cum all over the floor, all over my chest, and I'm like stuck to the floor, and I'm bawling my eyes out, and I'm just sad as
Sticky
hell.
ass cum, dude.
So yeah, I was in there for like half an hour just crying, wiping up my cum. It was so sad. Yeah, so that's why I don't beat my meat while laying on my back anymore, and I don't think anyone should.
Do you think that was a true story, Biggs?
I think so.
You don't think he was like, maybe based on like true events, and then he started, he's like, oh, this could be funnier. I gotta spice
Embellished
it up.
the story.
Yeah, he threw in like, a little sparkle.
He has no
of
reason to
mom.
lie to us.
Well, it sounds like he has a bit of a bias, and he's trying to convince us not to jerk off laying on our backs. So I don't really trust anybody who ends their story with like a political message about what the audience should do afterwards. I think he might have been trying to manipulate us into not doing it. Because I think laying on your back and jerking off is fine as long as you have self-control and you don't fucking squirt it all over yourself like a disgusting degenerate. Like, you can lay on your back and jerk off, and when you have to come, and get a cum receptacle of whatever kind. Don't just shoot it all over yourself. Because then if you have to crab walk out of your room to clean it off, your mom might see you. It was really his mistake from the beginning, Biggs. His lack of self-control put himself into a dangerous predicament. And now he's going to try to inflict pain on others and take away such a good thing because of his own foolishness. He thinks everybody will be as selfish and foolish as him. And now if he can't have it, nobody can.
So you think he is going down as a political martyr against us?
That's what it sounds like to me, Biggs. And I think a lot of his sperm went down as political martyrs as well.
Oh.
They died in the rope of duty. This guy, Anton Lindell, says, I made a rap for Biggs. Must see. Hi, Biggs. How do you pronounce that face? With the 3?
It's just like a cat smiley face.
Okay. It's got like a colon with a 3. So cute. Wanna come snuggle up in bed? It's okay if you fart. Just let it all out. Anyway, can you please turn into a woman so I can fuck you in the ass? Winky face. I know that you have the ability. Come on, Biggs. Wink, wink. Heart. Love you, Biggs. I'm gonna come. Do you think these are the lyrics to the rap that he just wanted to type them out for us in case we don't understand what he's saying?
I hope not.
Oh, you hope that the rap has lyrics that are even worse than this?
No.
Well, that's what it sounds like. I was being hopeful. That was my optimistic.
Hi, Mumkey. So I made a rap for you. I hope you like it.
He said it's for you.
He said it was for Biggs. And now it's for me? I don't think he made this beat.
Cutting balls with your CBT is a sexual activity involving application of pain.
Oh, that's cock and balls torture again, isn't it? I think I recognize that Wikipedia article.
Oh.
I think he's rapping the cock and balls. Hey, let's listen to make sure. Sounds like he's probably.
I can't even understand what he's saying.
I mean, that's what it sounds like to me. He sent it from his iPhone. It was on his iCloud. It was really important to him.
Are we going to have one good message today?
No! Brian Jefferson says, important voicemail for Biggs, urgent and angry. And he sent a fucking movie. Okay. I can't fucking play a movie, dude. Come on. Okay, let's see what he has to say.
Hello, Biggs and the other guy from The Big Show. I have a problem with what's been going on in the podcast recently.
Same.
Every time you mention Donnie Darko, which is my favorite film of all time, Big stole that character trait from me. I'm suing him tonight. You guys seem to only mention the Chad Donnie Darko, when there's another Chad in the film by the name of Frank the Rabbit. Why is so much disrespect for my thick rabbit boy?
So automatically I beat this person because he's a furry and I'm not.
You don't think that Frank is a Chad? Even the long-haired Roderick-looking actor underneath the mask?
My thick furry boy. So he's referring to the persona of Frank, not as Frank the person.
It's funny that we hadn't heard that voicemail, but we already talked about how we watched Donnie Darko yesterday, and he's trying to say Biggs isn't a real Donnie Darko fan. I know from experience, my friend, it's not even a fandom anymore. It's like dementia. He must think he's never seen it before, and he must watch it every day.
Dude, if that was like a real thing where I forgot every time...
51st Dates, but with Donnie Darko, then you would never understand the film, and you would be endlessly upset.
I'm already at that point. I might as well at least experience it for the first time every single time.
I thought you understood the movie in its deepest complexity now.
No, I only have ideas of what it could be.
Let's talk it out, because now that I just rewatched it for the first time in a while, it's fresh in my head too. So that can be the last shitty fucking voicemail of the day, and we can actually talk about Donnie Darko if you want. Like,
so you tell me what you think you got from it.
Because there are some mysteries that are yet to be revealed in the movie.
They're not going to be revealed.
Well, exactly. So what are you going to ask me, and I'll see if I have an answer for it.
What do you think the purpose of the movie was? Like, what do you think it all meant?
I think it's about destiny and how Donnie was saying he can see these like tubes, these see-through weird CGI tubes that are coming out of each person, and it represents their fate. And they talk about it in the movie when he's talking to his science teacher about. The science teacher says, seeing into the future is impossible because then you would have the option to change it. So you would never actually know what the future is. But then Donnie corrects him and says, yeah, but if you just follow the future that you see, then you are seeing the actual future. And if it's what you want, then you have to just do what you see, which is why Donnie is doing all these horrible things throughout the movie, because it's the future that Frank is showing to him in front of him.
Yeah, but why? Why is Frank doing all of this, if not just to save himself? But if he did it to save, like, his being from dying, then how did it all start? Because there's no way that the timeline we're watching is the first timeline. It would have to be at least the second.
So I think the idea is, and unfortunately, Biggs, us fedora-tipping atheists might not like this interpretation, but there is a lot of discussion about God in the movie and God's plan. And Donnie very specifically says if he follows, the plan, like the God tunnel or whatever he says, God's plan for the future, then it will come true.
If you stay within God's channel.
Right, God's channel, exactly. That's what I was trying to remember. So in this interpretation, there's some sort of mistake in the world, and God is using Donnie as a conduit to fix it, and Donnie goes along with it because it will save the life of the girl who he loves. So he has to make the ultimate sacrifice. And we see through his therapy sessions that Donnie's greatest fear is being alone, and he knows that everything dies alone, so hence his other biggest fear is dying. He's terrified of both dying and being alone, but he has to make the noble sacrifice and choose to die to save this girl, because she says, some people are born with tragedy in their lives, and that fucking breaks his heart because he sees so much of his own pain in her, and he wants to, if he isn't going to live anymore, he wants to at least give somebody else a chance to have happiness in their life. So he sacrifices his own life and faces his greatest fear to give other people the potential to be happy.
I mean, to an extent, though, because if she never met him, then she would have never went to his house when presumably her stepdad showed back up.
Yeah.
So then maybe she would have been harmed in another way, and maybe her dying is just fate itself.
Well, but if we're to believe that this is, God's channel, God intends for this to happen, we have to assume it will lead to whatever God wants. And if Donnie is seeing, the future through channels, maybe he knows a little bit more than we do about how this is going to actually affect her life in the long run.
I mean, I guess.
For some reason,
there's
God
another-
wants Frank and the girl to both be alive rather than Donnie, and Donnie accepts his fate.
Yeah, okay, but then here's the other question: is how does his consciousness go back in time?
Well, there's a whole philosophy of time travel written by one of the crazy people in his neighborhood who's like 101 and keeps checking the mail. And we never really know what she's looking for in the mailbox, do we?
See, my guess is the whole time she's waiting for his letter because she herself has seen through the channel.
Could be. And she's like so old and demented that like maybe she's lost her mind and in an inception level of like this is the only clear thought left in her head, so she just does it like a zombie.
She's waiting for this letter from Donnie for all these years.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's the only thing I could think of the whole time.
And if even she was part of God's plan in the lore of the movie, like this is like a multi-generational fucking plot to correct a mistake in history. I don't know how God makes mistakes in the first place, but it sort of reminds me of Interstellar, where the fourth dimensional beings are essentially the God in this case, and they have to use Matthew McConaughey as a conduit to like send him through a fucking wormhole to fix a mistake in the timeline.
But see, that's another thing. In that movie, I think the fourth dimensional beings is us from the future.
Well, yeah, which is just Donnie Darko's, God. Like it's the same sort of thing. It's a greater power that is using Donnie to do things through dimensions that we don't really understand on our level of thinking.
So maybe,
I think they're very similar movies in that regard.
Maybe all along the Frank in his head wasn't necessarily Frank, it's just what it took form as, because Frank is the center of why he wanted to change it anyways. So really all along, the picture of Frank being this being could have been anything. But for Donnie, since Frank is the thing that made him want to go back and kill himself, that's why it took form as Frank, I guess.
Well, if God is giving, the God is giving Donnie the ability to see into the future at all, then just the concept of this Frank character exists throughout all of Donnie's time, even if it hasn't happened yet, because he has seen it and he knows that he's heading towards it. So he can remember something from the future, I guess.
Yeah,
that's how Frank exists within his mind already. And also, we're going to have a bunch of lame-ass weirdos who say, actually, the movie's about a mentally ill boy who stops taking his pills, and the entire movie's just in his head before he gets crushed by a fucking jet engine. Oh, okay. And I'm glad he predicted that happening while he's sitting in bed laughing. He knew the whole thing.
Yeah.
He knew that Gretchen existed.
Even
nice
though,
fucking prediction. Nice theory, you retard.
Yeah. Because up to that point, he hadn't even met Gretchen, so there's no way she would be in his mind at all.
There's no way she shows up the next day. Yeah, stupid.
Yeah, and see, the other thing is I think the people after the movie knew that something had changed. Because otherwise...
Just like a weird deja vu between the mom and Gretchen.
Yeah, well, not only that, but then, like, Cunningham is, like, weeping because he wakes up and he's like, was that a dream? Like, I was in prison. They caught me for doing... He's, like, crying. And then Frank, he's, like, sitting there almost relieved, like, feeling his eye where he got shot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like...
Because all that shit did happen to them. There are other pieces of media where people, like... have faint recollections of things that maybe like were changed in a timeline. There's one of the Arion albums is about the Electric Castle, where the alien magic man plucks different human beings from different time periods, and one of them is like a 70s, 60s hippie named Mr. L. And in a later album, we see that character again in his old age when he's in the hospital, and he like barely remembers this weird adventure he went on in space that was supposed to be wiped from his memory, and he's like singing about it and telling this nurse about it, and they think that he's just crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know you... Well, I don't think you've seen it. Have you seen Steins Gate yet?
Yeah, of course I've seen Steins Gate.
I couldn't remember if you were one of the ones that had seen it or not, but it's the same thing as like Steins Gate, where like when he switches like realities, they still have like a faint memory of it, even though technically they didn't live it. Like, it's that kind of thinking.
Yeah,
too.
and of course, none of this is based off of science or reasoning at all. It's just, I guess, a trope that some authors like to use and other ones don't. So whether you like it or not is sort of irrelevant because none of this is possible. So there's no way to prove or disprove any of it.
It's just so weird. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, there you go. There's the Donnie Darko discussion everybody was hoping for. Hope everybody enjoyed this episode. Biggs, what are we bringing in for the next episode? What do you have planned on the back burner for Mumkey and Biggs number next one?
It's been a while. We should do another art contest. Those are fun.
Okay.
We talked about what? You said you wanted to give a gift card for whoever wins?
Yeah, I thought all future art contests, it would be very funny if the winner would get a $10 Jimmy John's gift card, which in this day and age, if you live near a Jimmy John's, a $10 gift card gets a 8-inch sandwich delivered straight to your house. So that's pretty good. You won't be a starving artist anymore.
Yeah.
You get a sandwich out of it.
Sounds good to me. We'll figure out what it's going to be over, I guess.
I had an art contest idea. Should I mention it now or should I save it for next week?
Well, yeah, go for it.
Well, I'm doing some interior decorating at my house because I have a lot of blank walls still, and I want to cover all my, all the walls in my house with art or clocks or whatever the fuck you hang up on walls. And the vast majority of the stuff I have hanging up now is just stuff that fans have sent me over the years. Different paintings and, posters that they made and drawings. And I have framed fan art drawings all over this room that we're in right now. So I was thinking the next one should be a physical art contest where people actually make art and send it to me in my P.O. box. And the winners are just the ones that I hang up literally in my living room and bedroom of my house.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, and if I hang up your piece of art in my house, I'll send you a $10 gift card to get a sandwich. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, a sandwich is worth it.
If you don't know what to draw, I'm always looking for, any image of my animals, Blaze and Isabel and Scorch, the lizard. But really, you can send in anything you want. I have weird stuff that you wouldn't really think of that people have sent me hanging up. Even in my living room, somebody painted like a weird, what kind of monkey is that they painted that I have hanging up?
I have no idea.
Some weird baboon-looking creature, but it's hanging up in my little monkey shrine in my living room. So, I like One Piece if you want to draw like God, Usopp, or really any, I don't know. But the P.O. box is in the description of the every episode. It should be, I think. It will be of this one.
If not, yeah, we'll add it.
Yeah, so if that's an art contest you want to do, sorry that you have to pay money to send something, though. That's probably annoying.
I mean, oh well.
Yeah. They don't need to be huge. You can make small stuff and just send it.
A piece of paper ripped out of a notebook and send it in, that's still art.
Yeah. I would prefer like small paintings, just like a little canvas. It can be like 6 or 7 or 8 inches, long. Doesn't really matter how big it is. But paintings in particular, I really like hanging up around my house. So, hey, that's it for the Mumkey and Biggs show. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Simian Jimmy. Biggs, what's your Twitter?
Mine's at Biggs Biggsington.
You got to be more active on Twitter, Biggs. What have you been doing on there? Making more Discord posts and shit? Boring.
Well,
post some Blaze pictures once in a while.
I guess I could call out some people. I put up a poll, right, of who wants to play this game with me, right? Because everybody's constantly like, Biggs, you gotta play a game with the fans. So I put up a poll, like, who would want to play, and if you do want to play, like, I'll let you know how to get in contact with me. And so about 100 or so people voted.
Yeah.
About 58% said yes. And I was like,
I voted no. Just to
I was
let
like,
you know.
that's a decent amount of people, like 50 people. I could probably pull up 1 or 2, right? So I post a link to the Discord that I'm active in for this game, and one person joins, and then they leave.
So 50 people told you in the poll that they would play with you, and then none of them did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Scum. Total scum.
Isn't that the name of the game you wanted to play is Scum?
Yeah.
Okay. You should have opened with that so that the Scum, the punchline would have landed.
I mean, they saw the tweet.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
You said it only had 100 votes.
They saw the tweet.
Most of these people don't even know that you have a Twitter.
Hey, it's been in the description every single video.
Hey, everybody.
It's not my fault.
This episode's way too fucking long. I'm done being here. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
Bye.